What if every single person you loved thought you were a murderer? A cursed dagger turns a brutal killer and a teenage girl into unwilling, body-swapped enemies. It all begins on a dark night. The Blissfield Butcher, a name whispered in fear around the small town of Blissfield, stalks his prey. He isn't some masked mystery. He's tall, imposing, and ruthless. And tonight, he's hunting at a mansion where 4 teenagers are partying without a care in the world. Loud music, red cups, and laughter set the scene. But in horror movies, it never ends well. The butcher shows up, quiet at first, just a blur in the shadows. Then, out of nowhere, everything explodes into chaos. The butcher slaughters the teens one by one. Ginny's head smashed with a wine bottle, Evan impaled through the chest with a spear, Sandra thrown onto a wall hook, and Isaac's throat slit with a broken tennis racket. Screams echo through the mansion's marble halls, blood splattering across the walls. But the last kill? That's different. He finds an ancient dagger on display. The dagger isn't just decoration. It's La Dola, an ancient Aztec ritual blade once used in human sacrifices to exchange souls between victim and killer. Carvings along the hilt warn that when blood touches its edge under the same moon, 2 spirits can swap bodies, a curse that becomes permanent after 24 hours, if not reversed. Morning comes. Meet Millie Kessler. She's the opposite of the butcher in every way. A shy, awkward high schooler, stuck in grief after losing her father. Her mother drowns in wine. Her sister, Charlene, a cop, hides her pain behind a badge. And Millie? She hides behind oversized hoodies and her 2 best friends, Nyla and Josh. Life isn't easy. Bullies mock her for being quiet. Teachers ignore her. Even at home, she feels invisible. That night, she performs her duty as the football team's mascot in a giant beaver suit. On the field, she cheers. In the stands, people laugh. When the game ends, her mom forgets to pick her up. Alone in the stadium parking lot, Millie waits. And then, the butcher finds her. He approaches like a nightmare made of flesh. She freezes. The butcher stabs her with La Dola. The dagger glows with ancient power. Millie screams as the blade cuts into her shoulder. But something strange happens. Instead of dying, both of them collapse. The dagger hums and glows, crimson symbols racing up its edge as a cold wind swirls around them. The full moon above flickers through the clouds. The curse has begun. If the dagger doesn't pierce its victim again before the next night's moon, the exchange will seal forever. Charlene gets there just in time, firing at the butcher. He vanishes into the darkness. When Millie wakes the next morning, something feels wrong, eerily wrong. Across town, in the dark, decrepit old mill, the Blissfield Butcher opens his eyes. But it's not him inside that body anymore. La Dola, the ancient cursed dagger, has switched their souls, trapping a terrified teenage girl in the body of a murderer and freeing the butcher inside hers. At home, the killer awkwardly tries to mimic Millie's behavior, pretending to be sweet and innocent. But behind the smile lies bloodlust. He grips a kitchen knife, creeping up behind Charlene, ready to stab, when Millie's mom takes the knife away at the last second, completely unaware of what almost happened. Meanwhile, Millie, now stuck in the butcher's body, can't go outside without people screaming. His face is all over the news, and when a woman recognizes her and runs, she realizes how impossible it will be to survive like this. The butcher, on the other hand, is having the time of his life in Millie's body. He dresses up for school, turning heads as everyone stares, mesmerized by the new look. Nyla and Joshua approach, confused by her strange attitude, but the butcher brushes them off. When Ryler tries to bully Millie, the butcher plays along and lures her to the locker room. He tricks her into hiding inside a cryo tank and leaves her there to freeze to death. Later, Millie discovers the frozen corpse and watches in horror as Ryler's body shatters into pieces. After the shocking death, the school cancels homecoming, but the butcher's bloodlust only deepens. In woodshop class, when Booker cuts his finger, the butcher disturbingly licks the blood, causing Mr. Fletcher to reprimand Millie. Later, he brutally kills the teacher with a screwdriver before pushing him through a circular saw. Meanwhile, Nyla and Joshua wait for Millie at their usual spot, only to see the butcher's hulking frame chasing them through the halls. Terrified, they fight back, thinking it's the killer, as Millie desperately tries to convince them it's her. Nyla kicks her in the groin, an agonizing first for Millie, and she gasps for air before continuing to plead her case. In frustration, she performs their old mascot dance, and finally, her friends believe her. They regroup in the boys' bathroom, where Millie explains everything about La Dola. Joshua researches the dagger and learns it's an ancient Aztec weapon once used in ritual sacrifices, and that if they don't reverse the curse within 24 hours, the switch becomes permanent. Millie tests her new body's strength by confronting a bully, terrifying him into submission. With time running out, they agree to capture the butcher and recover the dagger before midnight. Meanwhile, the butcher continues killing. He charms the football players and convinces them to move the canceled homecoming to the old mill. When one of them, Brett, gropes him, the butcher smashes a bottle over his head and slaughters the others in a frenzy. Booker notices something's off and follows Millie, unaware he's in danger. When the butcher raises his knife, Millie ambushes him from behind with a golf club, knocking him unconscious. She also hits Booker to keep him from panicking. They tie the butcher to a chair at Joshua's house, where he wakes up, pretending to be innocent. Booker doesn't believe Millie's story until she recites the anonymous love poem she once gave him. Finally convinced, he joins the plan. Nyla sneaks into the police station to steal the dagger while Joshua guards the butcher. But things spiral fast. Joshua's mom comes home, sees Millie's body tied up, and panics. The butcher breaks free, grabs a knife, and chases them through the house. Joshua barely escapes as the killer disappears into the night. Nyla successfully retrieves the dagger but gets caught by Charlene, who forces her to drop it. Meanwhile, Booker and Millie share a quiet moment in the car. He admits his feelings, and they kiss. Awkwardly, since she's still in the butcher's body. Suddenly, the real butcher shows up at the station, slashing Nyla's hand and stealing the dagger. Charlene mistakes Millie for the killer and shoots her, while the butcher drives off, nearly running over Joshua. The group escapes and tracks the butcher to the old mill, where the homecoming dance is underway. With only minutes left, Booker sets a timer on Millie's watch as they split up to find the killer. The butcher butchers a group of jocks with a chainsaw, leaving carnage everywhere. Booker finds the aftermath and warns Nyla. As police swarm the area, Joshua fends off another attack until Millie saves him. Finally, Nyla tackles the butcher, and Joshua tosses Millie the dagger. With the clock seconds from zero, she stabs her own body, swapping back just before the police arrive and open fire on the butcher. But the nightmare is far from over. That night, Millie finally feels safe until she notices the back door slightly open. The butcher, having faked his death, sneaks up behind her with a knife. He seizes her by the throat, ready to finish what he started. Charlene bursts in with a gun, but it's empty. The butcher removed the bullets. Their mother smashes a bottle over his head, but he overpowers them both. As he raises the knife, Millie fights back, kicking him hard in the groin. Charlene slams a chair over his back, and Millie, summoning her last burst of strength, drives a broken wooden stake through his chest. The butcher gasps, collapses, and dies. This time, the nightmare is truly over. The sun rises over Blissfield. Life returns, scars and all. Millie isn't invisible anymore. She isn't just a shy girl. She's a survivor who fought death itself and won. If you enjoyed this recap of Freaky, you'll love our other slasher breakdowns. Click the video on screen now and step deeper into the nightmare.